Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
Sick again.
Yes, I have a cold.
Battling through, though.
Crazy.
Battling through. Well, it's not cold here. Buenos Aires. We're hit 98 today. It is really hot.
Crazy. That is really hot.
I'm in my Dave Cowens tank top again. I believe I wore this on episode 1 for those of you keeping track. I'm sure there's
many.
Well, another slate of games for the Celtics. Recording this on Tuesday, December 6th in the afternoon. As of this moment, the Boston Celtics are 20-5, first in the Atlantic Division, first in the Eastern Conference, and first in the NBA.
Best record overall.
Not bad.
Woo. Yep.
Not
Doing
bad. Good. Well, 4 games since we last were together. Twice the Heat, once the Nets, once the Raptors. So we can get right into it. First one, in front of the Royals at home in the Garden.
The number of times they
win.
flashed. The number of times they flashed the Royals.
Prince William and Princess Kate in attendance. Celtics beat the Miami Heat 134-121. What do you got?
My high was Jason Tatum. Who couldn't have that as a
awesome.
high? He put on a show. Like, that is by far the best I have ever seen him play. Unbelievable. He could not miss.
Defensively, offensively, it was.
Yeah. He just played so well. And, I mean, 11 rebounds, right? 3 assists. I mean, not that, but just shot well. I thought both ends. I thought he played defense very well. It's almost like he knew the Royals were there. He put on a show for Princess Kate. He put on a show.
Yep, I had Tatum as well. That was my high. My low was defense. Just as a team, little, I don't know. It was.
Agreed.
We can get to the later games in terms of maybe stepped it up a little, but I mean, just getting a little concerning.
Jaylen Brown. He was horrifying.
He's Mr. Fall asleep on the weak side.
6 turnovers. He was bumbled at his best at times. Like, he fell, he dribbled into people. I just thought he was not. He had foul trouble, so he didn't play, but he just didn't. 1 for 6 from the threes. I just didn't think he played well at all. That was my low. That's all I had.
Yeah,
fairly easy. Fairly with Jason Tatum playing that way, it was a fairly easy win.
Yeah, it was.
Shooting was good enough.
Nothing crazy. Jimmy Butler was out, which we'll get to in a second, but
which I think made
not much
difference.
in that game. Correct. Not much to that game. I guess we can get to the second one 2 days later. Same team, but not the same team, apparently. Jimmy Butler back as the Celtics fall to the Heat 120-116 in overtime. It was really a tale of 2 games here.
Like a different team. Although I think that is the first time we have had some tough defense on us. I thought they played very good defense. One of the first games we've had in a long time where I thought they clogged the middle.
Is about that team that just knows how to play us.
I think they did a fantastic job guarding Jason Tatum. I think they took him out of the game in the first half, completely out of the game.
Yeah.
He was lost.
I mean, not even the first half, the whole
that
game.
was my low. That was my low, was Jason Tatum during that game, and mostly the first half. But and there are 10 turnovers between the 2 of them. Like, they lost the ball so many times.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown was good, but Jalen Bumbles was on display for a little bit there. That was one of my low. My lows were turnovers. Agreed. Way too many turnovers. And again, it's just this Heat team. We just can't dribble. Like, I don't know what goes on with this. Like, they just have our number. I do
Good
not want to
hands.
see this team
I
in the
think,
playoffs.
yeah, I agree. I think they're good defensively. I think that we cannot be slow with them. They knocked it right out of Jason Tatum's hands. They took it out of his hands several times. Knocked it right out of his hands.
I don't know what it is about when they drive to the lane. They are just swat everything and steal. Like, it's, I don't know. My other low was, again, I just don't trust this team in crunch time. I know he made the bang three at the end there. But could that have been a worse play? Could it have been a worse play? We had I think there was 5 seconds on the clock. And Jaylen Brown chucks it up with 3 seconds left. I'm like, there was time for 2 passes or 4 dribbles. And he just throws it up and banks it in. But it was
the bank.
The worst play you could have drawn. I mean, there wasn't even a play. It was just whoever catches the ball, chuck it up. You had 5 full seconds. That's plenty of time to set up a whole something, not that. And then obviously overtime didn't go much better for us.
No. You know who was good in that game? Grant Williams. He was my high.
Yeah.
I thought he played incredibly well. He kept us in it for a while there. He and Jaylen Brown.
Whatever, regardless of what you want to say about Grant Williams, he is a big moment player.
Yeah.
He always steps up to the occasion. And whenever it feels big, game 7 last year against the Bucks, hitting all those threes.
Agreed.
He is a big game. He's not afraid of the moment, and he's a big game player. So yeah, I agreed there. My high for that game was intensity, though. Just even though we lost, we clearly cranked it up a level in terms of just effort.
Second half. Agreed.
Yeah. It was
I mean, rebounding. Jaylen Brown had 14. Jason Tatum had 12. I mean, they definitely cranked it. They
mentioned it on the broadcast a couple of times, but in the second half, it felt like a playoff game. It was everyone was really on there, and it was I like to see us in those environments, testing it early.
Yeah. I agree. I think this stretch of games was so good for us. So good for us.
Agreed. Yeah, so the Celtics have 5 losses this year, 3 of which have come in overtime.
Yeah.
Twice to the Cavs.
It makes me nervous as well. Yeah.
But nervous, but also, I mean, even that means even the games that we lose, we're in. It's not like we've been blown out by the Bulls twice. Those are our other 2 losses that aren't overtime. The Bulls crushing us. We're terrible now. Oh boy.
Yeah, they have.
So yeah, that is the only loss on the slate. Dropped the Celtics to 5 losses. Next up, Celtics traveled first game of a 6-game road trip to the Nets and defeated the Nets 103-92. I mean,
so
offensively, I think this was the worst game we played all year.
Yeah, it was.
We weren't even good. We were bad offensively.
Yeah, and Jason Tatum was terrible the first half. He stepped it up the second half, but he was terrible the first half.
I don't think anyone played well offensively.
I think they had our number. I think they clogged the middle. Their hands were good. I think they played good D on us, which we haven't seen, for a while there. I mean, we've been scoring pretty much at will. And I think they shut Jason Tatum down pretty well the first half. And I thought Jaylen Brown picked up the slack. He was my high. I thought he was
good. Yeah.
Very well. Yeah. But the Nets are terrible. They cannot play together. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant can't play together. They just don't look like they're on the same team half the time. It's very.
That was my high. Defense on them too. Yeah. We just if the Heat have our number, we have theirs. Kevin Durant just doesn't look like Kevin Durant against us.
And of course we switched it up, right? We went from being the high scoring, awesome offensive team to the headline saying stepping up their defense now, one of the best defensive teams, because we kept them,
which is fine. I mean, if you can get both, people good on both ends. I don't mind that.
Kyrie Irving was terrible shooting. I mean, he was Terrible.
Yeah, he's just
33% from the floor, 7 for 21, and 1 for 5 for 3. He just was not good.
I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, and he was wondering if maybe the Mavericks were a possible destination for Kyrie. And I was like, I just can't imagine a worse team than having Luka and Kyrie on the same team.
Yeah,
the worst idea possible.
Yeah, fighting over. I guess they'd be in at different times. They'd have to be. Yeah, but again, I guess he plays with Kevin Durant. So I mean, he's an ISO player as well.
He moves the ball decently well. Moves without the ball, can score. Doesn't need to. Can score off the catch and shoot.
Well, better than Luka. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all I had to say.
Ben
it was
Simmons
an easy
missing,
win. The
but
second
I'm not
half,
sure he would make too much of a difference.
No.
Who knows what's going on with him?
Hurt again.
Yeah. Yep. That looks like a team going nowhere fast.
Yeah, I thought they weren't very good at all. Defensively, like I said, I think they put the pressure on, and every team is going to from this point on, right? Once we get to the playoffs, Jason Tatum, I mean, what would you say as a coach? If we can shut him down, if we can work hard on him, we take a bulk of their scoring away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think any good team as we go on in the season, any good defensive team is he's the focus, just like last year in the playoffs. You know, they're going to work hard on him, double team him, and he's just going to have to expect it. And, all right. That's all I got for that one. It was solid.
Yep. Last one, last night, Celtics win 116-110 at the Toronto Raptors. It was a grind. It was a grind of a game. And
my high?
What was your high?
Blake Griffin moments. He doesn't play, and then he comes in and has these, I don't know, takes the offensive charge. He gives them a hard. He does a decent rebounder. And just handling, passing, seeing the court. I don't know. He just has these moments where he played 32 minutes. Dude's on the bench half the time. I don't know. It's so interesting to me. So he's kind of fun. I thought it was
Al Horford back-to-back rest guy. He just comes in when
I thought it was a nice surprise that he came in, and I just think his knowledge of the game and really helps. And he's just a smart player in many ways. And he's not a great defensive player. I'm not gonna say that.
No,
I mean, the offensive charges. He needs to be ready. He needs to set up, but inside, I mean, he's not a great defensive player. But I thought it was a nice surprise. I thought he came in and had some moments and made a difference. And so
and it's not like he needs his touches. He doesn't he kind of just does whatever you need. He's very selfless.
I think he has a deal that he does not want to be put in at the end of games like a scrub
garbage
player.
time.
I think that is probably the only thing he's asked, is he does not want to go in at the end of a game and be the garbage time player. Because you haven't seen that, and I don't blame him at this point. And he's paid his dues. But I thought he was a nice surprise. I think he had some good moments, and he was my high for that game. What was your high?
I had toughness.
Yeah,
I mean, they are just a bruising. They're not like a very skilled team. They're a bruising kind of. Pascal Siakam, just call him elbows. I mean, he just footballs his way through the paint. And
Derek White stepped up nicely.
Yeah, and I thought both teams were having some issues with the refs. It was a physical game, and I think we kind of just out toughness them kind of.
Stop complaining.
And just kind of we're the better team, and we're gonna deal with it, and you guys can complain, and we're gonna win the game, and that's what happens.
Agreed.
I thought, so some Celtics teams of old might not have that might not have been the result, and I think it's good to see.
I agree,
especially on second night of a back-to-back. A tough one out like that is
no Al, no
solid.
Brogdon.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong. I just don't think he's going to play. I think Brogdon's probably not going to play back-to-backs as well. That's my guess. I don't think he's really hurt.
Well, he was sick.
Illness.
Yeah,
okay. Was he sick the first game though? He was back-to-back.
No, maybe he was. He didn't play well, so maybe he was and just got worse. I don't know.
Yeah. My low
have to be sick
was
on
late
the road.
in the game. The shot choices of late in the game. So we're up by 8. And Jason Tatum, who actually shot fairly well. I mean, he shot well.
Mm-hmm.
He was 5 for 10 from 3. Pulls up and takes a 3 that caroms off, and they end up getting a fast break, getting them closer. And then I think it was either Smart or who took another quick 3, missed. They go down and score again. Now it's like a 4 or 5 point game. Just the shot choices when you are only up by 8 or 9 points. Really, you're not going to go inside. You're going to take a chance on 3 with this scrappy little team. Let's close out just a little bit better with our shot choices, because it did start to get closer because we had a few misses. So that was my big low. It's like,
mine very related, ball movement.
Oh, I know. Like, it was
just we've started to revert in the old stand around ISO ball that we haven't actually seen a lot of this year. Until the last few games we've been machines offensively, and it started to creep back a little. And
good teams are going to read it, right?
They're going to know
when Jaylen Brown's dribbling out front, he's going, and everyone clears, he's going up the middle.
Yeah.
When
they threw the double at Jason a couple of times, and he didn't do. He wasn't.
Yeah. Stuff hit. I will say he wasn't as bad on the refs last night, though. He wasn't like every single time foul or whatever. He really, did a good job, and he had 12 rebounds. I think the other side of his game has picked up a lot this year. I think he's really working much harder. He had a few head case moments where he missed a layup. Wasn't really complaining about it, but so slow to get back. Like, that kills me. In a close game, you cannot be that slow coming back. You just can't, because you missed. And overall, those ISO going in on 3 and 4 people for both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are setting themselves up for injury as well. That's a hard way to score. It wears you out. It's just a hard way to score. So, I'd like to see less of that. I'd like to see maybe a few per game rather than that being a large part of your game. Because when you're playing 39 and 38 minutes a game, you cannot keep getting hammered and crashed on in there, So I'd like to see that be less of the game as well. Although in those close games in the end, that's when you should see it, right? Yep. That's when you go in. You don't huck up a 3. So
agreed.
That's all I have to say with that one. I thought the Raptors were very scrappy, like you said. Good defense, and it's good for us.
Tough and
good for us to see. We need to see that kind of defense.
I like the way we responded to that. Yeah.
Agreed. They were fun games. 4 fun games, I thought.
Yeah. The Raptors aren't as good as I thought. There's no shooting. Not a lot of, I don't know where their scoring's come.
I agree. They've got some talent too. Just doesn't seem like they move the ball well and
just not a lot of continuity, not a lot of scoring threats. A lot of guys that need to drive and be in the paint, and they just clog it up too much. Not as impressive as I
yeah. And Van Fleet just didn't shoot well. I actually like Van Fleet.
He did not play well.
16% from 3. 21 from the floor overall, and that's not like him. Usually better than that.
That's not gonna get it done.
Gary Trent Jr., he shot well though. I was sitting here watching the game saying, man, I'd put it in his hands. He was like 3 for 3, 70% from the floor. I mean, he's
the only one that can make anything.
He kept them in it in the end there. That's all I got for that game.
All right. Do you have an opponent of the week?
I do. Mine is from the Heat. I just wanted to look at his statistics. Jimmy Butler was my player of the week. Second half of that game, he was the star and the person in control. He could not miss a shot. He took good shots. I just thought he stood out of everybody. Oh, you got somebody else?
Good. No. Good shot. The last one, the one he took over Al Horford at the end of regulation was flat out ridiculous. That was not a good shot. Fading away over Al Horford.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he made
my
it, though.
goodness. Yeah, I don't know how he and the one at the end of the overtime to close it too were two ridiculous shots.
But typically it was like short twos and he just hit him.
He has that like baseline short two that like I don't know how he gets open there all the time.
At the end of it, he did that in the second half quite a bit, and they just were falling. I just thought he was, I don't know, he was their clutch player when they needed a clutch player.
For sure.
He was the clutch player of the game. Because we didn't have one. We had no clutch player going on at that point.
Usually don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was tough. How about you?
I had another guy from the Heat. I had Bam Adebayo. I think he is clearly their best player now.
Agreed.
Everything they do runs through him. They like that. I mean, we don't know how to I don't know how you stop it when they run the pick for him and Hero and he just runs back and forth and they like do the little dribble handoff and like get the three and they're working through the screens and like you can't sag off, you can't get too up close because he'll roll and he's like automatic when he gets. I mean, they do that with like they run the pick the like screen handoffs with Hero. They run it with Strus. They run it with Lowry, and it's all with Bam. And I think I don't know. I think he a lot of what they do, the whole game just runs through him. Even if he doesn't, even if he's not the one scoring, he's setting picks and just
he was
doing everything for them.
Agreed. So he was excellent.
He was my pick.
He was excellent. Sometimes I just don't think they use him as much as like he doesn't shoot enough.
Yeah, agreed.
Shooting percentage is very good.
As soon as he gets to the block, we had no answer. Grant Williams was too small. Al Horford's just too old.
Yeah.
Like no answer.
Nobody's
once he got to the block.
Yeah. So I'm surprised they don't use him more. I agree.
Yeah.
He's really good. We could use him.
Oh yeah.
He'll come play for us. He'd play before, like, most definitely.
He'd start. What are we kidding?
Yeah, he was good. I agree. I just thought, like I said, I was
choice.
So impressed with Jimmy Butler closing out that game on us. He was like
just,
money.
I mean, he always does that to us.
Yeah.
And we just don't have that guy that can do that.
Not right now.
Every time he gets the ball, it's like terrifying at the end of the game. We have no guy like that. I have no confidence in anyone, any of our guys hitting a shot to the end of the game.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad considering we have the best duo in the league.
Agreed.
It's like we should have a little more confidence of your shot choices.
We have the best.
End of a game.
We have the best duo in the league for 46 minutes of every game.
Yes.
And it's like, oh no.
Close game at the end. Yeah. What shot are you going to take? Are you going to drive up the middle against four guys that know you're coming? No. And then just pray you get a foul. Pray, right? That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
You're driving into four people. They're clogging the lane. Don't do it. Yeah. There were quite a few stuffs in these games, like going up the middle and just stuck between the two of them. Shot the three a little better, though. But still, would you bet on that at the end of the game?
No.
I mean,
wouldn't bet on anyone.
Yeah. So I agree. I think that late in the game kind of thing, we need to be winning by like a good number, or it's iffy. Shot choice. I think that's what we need to work on. Shot choice, being a little bit better. And they have passed more. I think in these games, Jason Tatum has gotten some passes and scored in different ways than he had all last year. Like I definitely think the offense and the passing is much better this year.
I mean, 100%. Yeah.
So
it's just those last 2 minutes in the close game. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. And it does. It reverts back to ISO.
It does.
Those two
every time
in ISO. Yeah. And those were some of the bad passes even last night were when they stole the ball a couple times. The Raptors did. We were trying to find Jason Tatum. We wanted the ball in Jason Tatum's hands. They knew that. We had terrible passes to him up front, and they stole the ball like 2 or 3 times. I mean, what? He's covered. Don't get the ball in his hands when he's covered. It's very simple. Or Jason Tatum, move. Move better so that we can get you the ball. Yeah, some of those passes were terrible. And when they're looking for him, right? Everybody knows the other team's going to know. So, yeah, we have to do a much better job of that. But yeah, they had, I think, 3 steals at the top because of lazy, dumb passes that we were trying to get into the hands of a specific player. They knew that. And I think that, unfortunately, you can always tell Derek White has the ball up top and, you want to get it in Tatum's hands. So he's working so hard to get it in Jason Tatum's hands. So anyway, I think all in all, we look good. And I think that this was a great 4 games for us to see this kind of defense. I really do.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to do. Any good team is going to play Jason Tatum hard.
Offensively, it's the worst we've looked all year. And to come out 3-1 is like,
because
we
they
really
played
just toughed them out.
Defense. We haven't seen a lot of defense. That's the and it's good because you're going to, right? Anybody that's going to be top in the East is going to be playing good defense. So they're going to have our number. They're going to know us, and they're going to know us well. So I think this was really good. I'm excited for the Suns game. That's what I'm excited for. I think we play them this week, right?
Looking ahead, our final segment.
Top in the West.
Play them Thursday. We're heading out west. 4 straight games, West Coast. This week and next, we got at Suns Thursday. Finals rematch at Warriors Saturday.
Yeah, look forward to that one.
Little layoff, 3-day layoff, and then Tuesday we are at the Clippers, and then Wednesday we're at the Lakers.
This is going to be a tough 4-game stretch for us.
It's going to be interesting, all on the road.
Because even the Lakers, who's our answer for LeBron and Anthony Davis?
I mean, Anthony Davis had 55 the other night. He's been a beast.
Who's our answer? Yeah, who's our answer for that? We big defenders.
Yeah,
we don't.
I need to whoever's doing the NBA scheduling. Got a bone to pick with you. Who put Lakers Celtics the second day of a back-to-back? Come on. Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Just setting us up for failure here. But yeah, West Coast. We'll do a West Coast episode next week. I think maybe we'll bring Matt on. Talk Lakers, do a little state of the rivalry podcast.
Sounds good. What are your predictions?
I say 2-2. I think we're going a little bit of a lull. It's going to be tough. Who knows if Brogdon's healthy? I mean, Al's probably not going to play against the Lakers, which is if he's
so. Who do we play? But I almost who do we have before?
Clippers night before.
Oh, Clippers. Yeah, that too. I don't know.
I mean, they don't have Kawhi. I mean, who knows what's going on with Kawhi? But...
I might almost play Al, the Lakers, and not the Clippers.
Yeah, do a little reverse
have
thing.
Him. Yeah. I mean, who's going to do it? I like Fournette a lot, but he
gets lost defensively sometimes.
I'm like, he is not going to be able to take Anthony Davis. Just physically,
Batman.
And at least Al's not like a bang him up kind of guy, but you know what? When they get the ball out enough, he plays good defense, right? Yeah. He's got good hands, and he at least can give him a hard time, further out. Boxes out pretty well. I mean, as well as we do, or anybody does in this league anymore. I'm always like, box out. But there are a few games this game I was like, box someone out. But yeah, that's going to be a tough one, I think. So I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to be optimistic and say we're going to drop 1. And I think the Suns are going to be. I think that's going to be a great game. I think that's going to be a really close game. Agreed. I think we will pull it out. I think we're going to drop one. I think it could be the Lakers. I have this feeling. Could be the Lakers. Like if everybody's healthy.
Again, second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah,
come on, here, people.
Yeah,
who
we'll
scheduled that?
They are like second to the last right now. I mean,
no,
but
they've won a few games in a row. They're on a little bit of a tear.
Yeah, but I just think we're gonna have a hard time with two big guys. Who one?
Yeah,
maybe two. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good game. Good week. All right.
Gonna be it. We'll be back.
This was brought to you by Wegmans.
This is brought to you by Wegmans. That's been Shamrock Talk,
North
our
Base?
sponsors. We're worldwide. Find us anywhere you can find podcasts: Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, at Shamrock Talk Pod on Twitter, at Shamrock Talk on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
We over 1,000
in the streets. Probably close. This is a shorter one, but 1,000 minutes of content almost.
Go back and listen if you haven't.
Go back to mid-February of last year.
When the team turned around.
Yeah, right when the team turned around. Who would have thought?
Yep.
Well, I think we can
for now.
End it here. We will see you on the West Coast next week.
Go Celtics.
Go Celtics.